Hi guys, and welcome to week 3, taking stock, finding and naming our freedom thieves. So guys, freedom thieves are those things that basically keep you hostage in your own mind. Think Stockholm syndrome of the brain. These are people that convince you, or people, things, thoughts, ideas, that little voice, whatever it is, multiple things that convince you that what they're telling you to do is actually for your own good, that they're actually on your side, that they're keeping you alive and you should be grateful to them, but in fact are slowly killing you and taking away your happiness and your right to be a creative, vibrant person full of passion and joy. Because freedom thieves love judgment, and they love to use judgment as control. And unfortunately, judgment and control are kind of like the complete opposite of what it is to live a passionate, creative life, because you kind of need, like I said with the other videos, you need to be a little bit vulnerable. You need to be a little bit open, and you need to learn to put up boundaries and protect yourself a little bit, but there's still an exposure there that you don't get inside a golden cage. At the same time, the golden cage isn't really helping you because you think it's helping you and keeping you safe, but actually it's keeping you stuck and small and unhappy. So these are things that we need to be looking at within this course and really narrowing and drilling down on how to get straight on these things. And the thing is, freedom thieves really lurk in plain sight. That's what makes them so insidious. They're common sense sometimes, but common sense isn't necessarily what we want. This is something that caveman brain is kind of coming in there and telling us what common sense is and how to protect us, and that's not what we want to do. Protection isn't always what we need in the creative life. We need to be a bit vulnerable. We need to face our fears. We need to hold hands with it and jump off cliffs with it, like Elizabeth Gilbert says, and then see what happens. You might go splat, and that's okay. You just pick yourself back up again. You do it again, because it's all about inquiry and finding out who you are, and that's the fun thing. It's not about who you look like on the outside to other people. It's who you are on the inside, and discovering yourself and loving yourself. And it's all about building your life from your heart and your inside and living with it out, instead of worrying about that golden cage and shining it up and bringing it in. So this is really what we're looking at from here. We want to make sure that we're looking at our fears, how we're projecting our fears, how we're using judgment to control ourselves. And we're also going to be looking again at the heroine journey, going deeper in there. So the module 3.1 is about the road of trials, and looking at how freedom thieves really work in there and how it makes the road of trials harder, and then how to also look at that in your own life. Very important question, which we've been touching on up until now, but we haven't gone deep in, which is this an escape or a quest? In the end, sometimes we all need an escape, but a life should be a quest. And we're going to talk about the difference there and how to find out even with your own self, am I escaping or am I going questing? Always important there. And finally, wounds to wisdom, how to journal your way through the road of trials. Now we're starting to get into the real juice and the meat of things. We've had our little warm up and we've touched our toes into it. Now it's time to really start jumping in and breaking out the journal and going to those deep questions. And I hope you've been looking at also your 30-day journal and doing your day check-in as you went. But this is where we're starting to really get into what we need to do to go from tentative explorers to radiant and creative explorers, cage-free busters.